Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
Today, 72 North Dakota National Guard soldiers were sent off for a 9-month deployment in Washington, D.C. However, the soldiers were separated and families weren't allowed at the ceremony as the coronavirus continues to halt in-person gatherings. Julie Martin spoke to soldiers, some who are taking their 3rd deployment, others going on their 1st. But one thing they all had in common was how much they're going to miss their friends and family back home.
Rows of soldiers, 6 feet apart, all wearing their masks.
This ceremony is a part of the new normal. But I can tell you one thing that's not part of the new normal, something that we continue to do day in and day out, and that is to remain always ready, always there.
The soldiers sit next to their soon-to-be combat companion while their families watch from home.
I definitely would love to have my family down here because my boys especially, they see and they play with the little model Blackhawks that I have at home, and I've always wanted to bring them down here. I just haven't got a chance in the whole COVID.
Across the street, more soldiers going on the mission. Watch from a projector.
So I have 2 previous deployments, one to Afghanistan in 2009 and one to the National Capital Region in 2013. This one is completely different.
Although details of the mission are limited, the unit will be supporting the 12th Aviation Brigade, transporting personnel and cargo.
It's going to be tough because I have 3 kids, 2 boys and a girl.
Soon these soldiers will say goodbye one last time.
The hardest part, I'd say, is leaving family and friends.
Until they return home next year.
Of the 72 soldiers deploying, 38 are married and 34 have children. They are expected to leave in November. One man is dead after a crash in Walsh County this morning. Just south of Park River, a 38-year-old man from Pissick, North Dakota, was driving south on 135th Avenue Northeast. Officials say he drove off of the road and into a ditch where he rolled his truck. The driver was partially ejected and died at the scene. His name is being withheld pending notification of the family. Bismarck police say a man was taken to the hospital with multiple stab wounds to his head and neck late last night. According to police, they were called to an apartment complex on the corner of East Boulevard Avenue and 11th Street around 10:30. Police say they found a man with stab wounds. The man was conscious and breathing. No arrests have been made. The incident is still under investigation. Today, the U.S. Senate voted to advance Supreme Court nominee Amy Coney Barrett toward final confirmation. Senate Republicans voted 51 to 48, despite Democratic objections that the nominee should be chosen by the winner of this year's presidential election. Following the vote, Majority Leader Mitch McConnell spoke on the Senate floor, telling his Republican colleagues that they had made an important contribution to the future. Meanwhile, Minority Leader Chuck Schumer had harsh words for those across the aisle, calling today's decision a travesty.
Fortunately for Judge Barrett and for our nation, history will remember what is already clear. The deficiency is with their judgment, not hers. Their judgment, not hers. The Senate is doing the right thing.
The final vote is expected to take place Monday evening. With just over a week to go until the election, President Donald Trump spent the day on the campaign trail in New Hampshire and Maine, while Democratic challenger Joe Biden led a star-studded virtual concert campaign event. Tom Hansen has the latest.
Joe Biden addressed a virtual voter mobilization concert featuring music stars.
The reason why I think people should be voting is out of their own self-interest right now, because look, everything is at stake, from the environment to our health.
President Trump signed pumpkins for supporters at an orchard in Maine.
It'll be on eBay tonight.
After leading a campaign rally in New Hampshire earlier in the day.
In 2016, you voted to fire the depraved political establishment, and you elected an outsider as your president who is finally putting America first.
Late Saturday, it was revealed that Vice President Mike Pence's chief of staff, Mark Short, and several aides tested positive for COVID-19. The vice president, who heads the White House coronavirus task force, tested negative. The White House chief of staff defended Pence's public campaigning despite potentially being exposed and sparked new controversy with this exchange.
We're not going to control the pandemic. We are going to control the fact that we get vaccines, therapeutics, and other mitigation
Why aren't we going to get
areas
control of the pandemic?
Because it is a contagious virus, just like the flu.
Yeah, but why not?
And after a day on the campaign trail, the president and first lady welcomed trick-or-treaters back at the White House. Tom Hansen, CBS News, New York.
A new Battleground Tracker poll shows former Vice President Joe Biden has an edge over President Trump in Florida. He leads in North Carolina, and the two are tied in Georgia. Still ahead tonight, people are fired up across the nation about masks. This as health officials push back. But first, a check of your forecast with a chance of snow early in our week.